Hey guys, it's Meg, and I know we're quite close up in this video, but today I am doing a very recommended video from you guys. It is a basic makeup hacks, or how I learnt to do makeup, the best easy ways to do makeup. So this is why I've done my eyebrows, I've already done my foundation, so let's begin. So one of the first questions I got was, what is the best foundation? So for me, my new favourite foundation is the Maybelline New York. I'm pretty sure it's like the Stay 24-hour one. It is this one here. It's so good. It says it lasts up to 12 hours, and I would actually vouch for that. It does last up to 12 hours. It doesn't budge. It's really easy to blend. You can build on it, but it is very high coverage. I think it's about £10, but it does last you a very long time, and I would highly recommend it. That's what I have on now. But you can still see like freckles and things through it. But like I said, if you build, you can cancel everything out, but if you still want your sort of features to come out as well, then it can also do that. The next one was, how do I contour? What you need to do to contour is you either need a sort of like foundation stick, or obviously a contour stick, and then some lighter shades. I prefer as well a green because it cancels out any red undertones. So with your darker shade, you can just do this using powders, but I like to blend it out onto a cream base first and then put a powder on after. So I've just got my dark on here. You want to go here, and I'd just like to go up a little bit like that for the forehead. Here, the jawline, just here, down your nose. I like to do like across the nostril, here on the chin, a tiny bit above the chin. Or an easy way you can do it, some people like, I do it on this side, is just do a 3 on your face. Does exactly the same thing, just a little bit easier. Right, so now I've got that, I'd like to take a sort of a more dense brush. You can do it with a beauty blender or a brush like this, which I will go in with after, but first I like to take the more dense brush and just circular motions, just buff it into your face. See that already? More defined here. Also, I know that side has the stuff on, but you can just see the shadow causes that effect, and it works well. Just be careful not to put too much on your nose because you don't want it to get really cakey or just look patchy. I find as well that circular motions just help that blending process, and just for it to look a bit more natural. It does hit more of your surface area, but then I will show you after how I sort that out. Right, now, like I said earlier, with the more fluffier, denser brush, you just want to kind of, I wouldn't rub, just pat upwards into the contour, just so it really like sits into the skin. Okay, so with the green ones, I know this can look a little bit daunting, but trust me, it really works. You can also get a more orangey one. I'm pretty sure that cancels out the more blue, the bluey and orange tones, but for me, I use a green one and the lightest one you can get. The ones I use are actually from Collection. Ooh, they're from Collection. They're like £3 each, £4 each, but they are so good. Like, so many people swear by them. I know people that have had a lot of money and they would still just use these because they're just so good. Right, now what you want to do with the green is just, obviously I am looking into viewfinder to do this just because it is a lot easier. Just down like that. Tiny bit on the nose, just here, and like I said, if you have any like blemishes and marks that are a bit redder, just tap it on and it'll take it away. Concealer, I just go basically in middle bits. Go over the top of that one. A little bit here. Cupid's bow. Down the nose. And here. Like that. I do use a beauty blender for this one. They are very, very good. I just use a Real Technique one. Or again, you can use this sort of brush, which sometimes I do as well. But for today, I'm going to use a damp beauty blender. You just want to tap it into the face. Don't rub, because it will take off the product underneath. And I just do a bit on the eye as well, just to help base for when you do your shadow. When I get to this bit, obviously that's where I did the contour, I take it onto its side like this and I just dab that way. And then go from the bottom to top, just so there's no harsh, horrible lines. See that already, it's highlighted under here, it's sharpened that contour. See, my sort of hack with this is you can never blend enough. Especially if you're just starting out, if you think you've blended it all, just keep going for a little while. Just to, even if you have done it, it's just for the practice as well. It does take a little while to get used to. Obviously I do it quite a lot. Well, I could do it on a daily. But just keep blending. Like I said, downwards, back and forth. And fun fact, well, for me it's fun. This is actually a technique from a makeup artist who works in sort of Vegas shows and does it all really theatrical, like parrot makeup. He just said the more you go up and down, the more natural it will look, the easier it will blend out, and it's just a seamless sort of finish. Okay, so there you go. That is your cream sort of contour. Next is setting it and doing the powdered contour. All of this is optional. You can just set your face with your normal powder now, just leave it like that. You'll still have that sort of glowy shine, the shadow. But what I like to do next is, a lot of people ask what powder I use because my foundation stays on basically all day. I actually just use baby powder. It's very thin, obviously very white, doesn't clog up your pores. It's just a really, really good powder. So I'll go back in with my beauty blender, damp again, just get a generous amount and just pat it on. See? Again, you don't have to do this, you can just do a light coating of powder onto your face. This is just my personal preference and also how to bake. And then on the chin, anywhere that you would sort of normally pick up oils. So you're basically just following where you did the concealer earlier. What some people don't do, but it's just my personal preference, whatever powder is left in the lid, I will just take a fluffy brush and just quickly dust over any bits that you didn't actually bake. Just because sometimes you find when you do like a bronzer or a darker shade to contour with, it can get a bit cakey unless you sort of do a light dusting of powder on top. I just find that some of them, they are very pigmented, the darker ones, so you just want to have that. See, you can still see the bake there, but it's just helping it blend all out together. Next, we have this combination again from Collection Makeup. It is a hashtag Blush and Glow palette. Obviously, I am going to be using this one. You don't need too much of this product. I actually did a bad-ish review of this on my Instagram, the link will be down below. But I've actually grown to love it. I've used different techniques of how to use it now. It's quite good because the trick is just don't use much, which obviously means this palette goes a long way. So it's kind of good for everything. Right, so just an angled brush like this. light dusting to start off with. See, you can see that sharp edge already. Circular motions, really light, so hold it quite at the bottom of the brush, so it's quite floppy like that. You just want really light dusting of circular motions. And then you are just following where you put that cream product earlier. The nose, a lot of people like to use a smaller brush. You can use a brush like this, again angled, but I would literally just use the side of it and just pat down. Okay, so again, side, just really lightly down the nose. You don't want to do much on the nose. Just, see, even that's a little bit too much, but I'll blend that out later. And then back in with the more fluffy one. It will all look a bit crazy at first, but once it's all blended, all the rest of your makeup's on, it will look good. So now, brush away. And like I said earlier, with this more dense one, you can just blend out the rest of it, especially concentrate on your jawline, just because you don't want any harsh lines. You don't want to be that girl that's in school who had an orange face and a white neck. Okay, next, again, these are optional, but I just take a little bit of blusher just to brighten up the cheeks a little bit. Just a little bit across the nose, top of the forehead and underneath the chin, just so they hit all the same points and the colour sort of blends together. This one's one of my favourite tips for highlighter. You could just get any sort of brush that you would like to use. I use this more angled fluffy brush. Get some setting powder. Again, don't have to do this, it works good with just a brush on its own, but I just think it gets a little bit more pigment if you do it this way. A little bit of setting powder. Make sure it's not too wet. I just take a little bit of each of these colours. This is the Sleek Makeup highlighting palette. Simple. So quite a generous amount. Okay, so very pigmented. You can use a cream highlighter underneath foundation, kind of like when you were doing your cream contour. It is this sort of one. I don't really like doing that a lot. Sometimes I can find it just goes cakey, it just doesn't go right. But you can do that as well. A bit down your nose, cupid's bow, chin. Honestly, this palette is so nice. And then you have the glow. So what I like to do with that is, one of the questions I got was, what is your best setting spray? Now I actually love, again, it's Collection. Collection is just a really good brand. The one I've been using for quite a few months now is the Collection Dewy Makeup Setting Spray. It was a £5. It is so good. I've actually never had more compliments on my makeup recently with these sort of products that I have ever. It just stays on for so long. It goes really well with a 24-hour or 12-hour foundation, so it just sticks. But what I like to do is I do the face first sometimes, and then I just like to set it all first, because recently I've been finding that if I do it with my eye makeup, it will just start to run and it's just a big mess. So if you spray your face first, and it's also a good base for when you do eyeshadow, which is what we're going to go into next. You want to hold it quite a bit away. What I find best is just to fan it on. It just saves time. Already I can see my pores are so closed, like it's actually unreal. That I honestly, I can look at that for ages. I find it so bizarre you can't see any pores here or here, and I do have quite a lot of pores. Again, a little tip you can do with your highlighter, if you still can feel a little bit of the product on, just take a little bit of highlighter and do it over the top. So that extra shine. And then take a little bit on your finger for your inner corners, just to make it look a little bit more awake. And then under your brow. Like so. Alright guys, we are very up and close now because we are doing the eyeshadow. This has been quite a requested one. It is how to do a basic smoky eye. First of all, I take the Revolution Makeup Focus and Fix Eye Primer. Just do a tiny, you don't have to use eye primer, it's just a personal preference. Again, you can skip this step, you can just set your eye with your normal face powder. But I just tap that in lightly all over the lid. And again, I just take my normal powder brush, and just pat that in. My number one tip for eyeshadow would be invest in a fluffy brush. This is probably like £2, I don't remember the company. I'm really sorry. If I can find one or from a similar, I'll leave it down below, but it's just this fluffy brush. Now, again, as always, I'm taking my Imagination palette. You can use any palette you want, it doesn't matter. You can use like a really basic trio palette or whatever you prefer, whatever you have. But for a basic eye, any sort of base colour that's quite natural. You just want to put that all over the eye. You can pat it in first and then fluff it out afterwards. Again, hold the end of the brush just so it's so much easier to blend it out. You want to use light motions, the lighter the better, just to get that on. Now today I am going to do a basic smoky eye. I usually do more of a dramatic one, but it does take a little bit longer if you've had more practice with it. Today it's just basics, so you can either use your finger, which is I'm going to show you one way. So if you take, I'm going to do more like the brownie sort of colours today, which a lot of people usually just tend to have. So I'm going to take this sort of colour here, just on my finger, here. Just showing you how easy it can be. Right, so here, over the top, get your fluffy brush, put a little bit of that same colour on, and just in the corners, circular motions again, blend it out together. As you can see, you've already got that sort of difference from the outer corner to the inner corner, and you can just leave it like that. See? It's nice, it's subtle, it's pretty. You can use any set of colours. Just dab it in, circular, dab. Look, you've already got a smoky eye. If you're doing it with just a brush, again, take the product. You want to do like a V-C shape on the corner of your eye. Pat it in first. And that can be you done. Just there, a very basic but pretty smoky eye. It is still very effective from afar. Get some eyeliner, get some lashes, just mascara, whatever you want to do. It is very subtle but very pretty. You can still see it is a smoky eye. If you want to leave it like that, that's fine. You can skip to a different part of the video. If you do want to do the next stages, you can get a smaller fluffy brush. Take an either darker shade, so you can do a darker brown here, or you can have a little bit more of a colour. I wouldn't, not these sort of colours, like just for starters. This got like a reddy tone brown. You just want to, so find the corner of your eye where your eyelid. You can either, the easy way to do it is just pull it there, keep your eye open, and just run it along your eye. So simple, so easy, but so effective. Again, edge of your eye. So easy, so simple, so effective. Again, you can leave it like that, or if you want to be a bit more popping, you can take, what colour should you take? You can take a shimmery glitter just with your finger. Again, I know these could be a bit daunting, but it's all practice. I never used to be able to do makeup, but it is just practice. So with the pigment on your finger, just run it along your lid. You don't want to go over the top. See? Again, so simple, so easy, so effective. I find that a finger is way easier to do these sort of like shimmery pigments, just because it picks up the pigments so much better. It's easy to apply. It's just way better. Again, with your fluffy brush, just go over the top. Doesn't have to have any product in it because it still had the product from before. Just buff the top out. There you go. A simple, easy, smoky eye. So you can get the same sort of colours on your fluffy brush and just run it underneath. Just to give that a little bit of a shadow. Yeah guys, I know I keep saying, but all these stages are optional. It's just what you find more comfortable. You can just stick with the first one and build up to these sort of ones, but it is just what you prefer. For some people, I know this is a scary part, it is the eyeliner. At the minute I'm using like a pen. I will be doing it in my mirror just because it's a lot easier. Eyeliner is a kind of make or break with makeup look. It can go very right or very wrong very quickly. So this again is all practice. A lot of you are not going to get it first time, and that's fine. Make sure you're not doing it when you're on a night out. Make sure you practice before that night out, because you could be having a hissy fit. So I like to start with just on the inner bit of my eye first. And just really small lines. And then I work my way in to the inner corner. A lot of people don't do it this way. They start at the wing, they start at the inner corner. Again, it's completely what you find easier. But for me, I just find this easier because you're not going to get any bulkiness because you've already set your base there. You can just leave it as a liquid eyeliner like that. I do like that, I do find it pretty. It's very classic old style, but if you want the classic wing, this is where it is. Right, so just take tiny stages. So you've got your line, you're nearly there. Just join from the top to the bottom, again, really small. And there you have a nice wing. There you go. You have your wings. I know I've thrown a lot of different things at you today, but Again, you can leave your wing like that. Loads and loads of people do. I just like to take a little angle brush that I do my eyebrows with onto a black. Just take a little bit and just pat on top of the wing. It just sits it in place just for that little bit longer, and it just makes that more defined black, and also just gives a tiny bit of like a smoky effect, just so it's not as harsh, but it is still popping. I know this bit is going to freak a couple of people out, but this is how I do my waterline. You can do it with eyeliner if that's what you prefer. You don't have to do it at all. I don't do it this way just because I find it is a lot more intense and it lasts a lot longer. So I just lift my eye here, look down, and just run it along my waterline. You can close your eyes and do it, just there you go. If you want your extra smoky look, you can do the same to the bottom. Just dabbing it. There you go. Very, very simple, but really effective. Really nice for a night out or just a casual day. Like I said, this is basically my everyday makeup look. But yeah, it's just, like I said, simple but effective. Right guys, that is me done. This is the basic easy makeup look. It might not look easy, but that is the effect you kind of want to go for. It's dewy, it's light, very easy, and I have to wrap this up because my camera's going to die. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who actually asked me the questions. I ask a lot of stuff on social media, so all my links will be down below. I really hope you like this. I really hope it helped you out. If you do like this look, please tag me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, just so I can see you recreate these looks, because I just love you guys recreating this sort of stuff. And like I always say, have a good day, morning and night. I will see you next week, and please don't forget to subscribe and join my amazing YouTube family. So, I'll see you later guys. Bye!